Alright. Hey, music producers and sound designers, welcome back to the stream. Tonight, we're going to be designing some more sounds in Reaktor, and I'm going to be looking at designing a zero coast style synth. I don't know if you've heard of those kinds of synths. They're made by, I believe it was Make Noise. So you generally see these ones. You see them in like your music store or anywhere where you buy music supplies. And today we're going to be building one. So today we're going to be building a zero coast style synth using only Reaktor blocks in a few short minutes. And let's see if we can nail that raw West Coast flavor. I'm going to start from not so much of a blank canvas today, but just out the blocks in place. So I've preloaded some blocks inside Reaktor that we're going to use. I've done the connections. We're going to ignore that. We're going to actually undo them, just so I can show you from scratch what it looks like. So you're going to bring in all your modules. If you need for more information, you click on the information tab and you basically get information. So you're able to learn about what each module does. So what we're going to do, we're going to patch in our basic sound. So we're going to load in our oscillator. We got our oscillator here. We're going to change it to a triangle wave. We've done that. And I'm going to make sure I name my oscillators too so that we can tell them apart from each other. It's good practice to do that. So you can tell them apart and you don't get confused with which ones you're currently working on. So we've got our waveforms here. We've got a triangle followed by another triangle. Yeah, so we're going to use that. We're going to add in some wave folding. So you go into the library and search for that. We've got our wave folding capability right here. If you want to see inside, this is what it looks like. So on this level, it's getting a little deep. I don't want to go too deep, but we're basically using an add exponential and a multiply or invert and exponential, and then we're using a mirror to fold the waves on itself. So then it goes out to the out port, and that is sent out to this port right here. And we connect these ports straight to our existing modular blocks. There's many ways to do this. You can do this like this, or you can actually use, I can use even basic primary blocks to build out the actual oscillator, the note in, and the envelope that we're going to use to connect to this wave folder. But that's for another video. Or if you'd really like to learn more about that, you can deep dive in our modular course where I teach everything about sound design and you can learn all of that there. So I'm going to connect up the pitch, and I'm going to then connect that to the wave folder, and we're going to send our signal out through an amp. So we should get sound now. So I'm going to hit a key. Okay. Oh, I didn't connect my envelope. So we need an envelope with gate control, basically on-off signal. And now we're getting sound. Let me just turn that down a little bit. Turn down an octave. You can see the waveform right here. Oh, let me just turn on that too. So I'm going to connect my scope so that we can visualize that waveform. There it is right there. So I'm going to try it without the wave shaper so you can see what it looks like. That's our generic wave. So this is unfiltered, uncompressed, no effects have been added. This is the raw sound of a triangle wave coming through your speaker. So it sounds like that. When we add our wave folder, it's literally adding folds to the waves mathematically, of course. And you can see those little folds in the wave shape. See if I can zoom in. So you can see those little fold and notches in the waveform. So as we turn our knob on our wave folder, I'm going to bring it up here so you can see. As we turn our knob on our wave folder, you can see that our notches get deeper and they pass the zero cross line, and we go back to a triangle wave. So pretty cool, huh? So we can scrunch them up and we get more harmonics that are rougher and more edgy, and we get more pointed edges until we get basically one half of the waveform, it sounds like. But in between, you get like a hybrid of a thicker folded waveform. So I like that. And I'm going to go ahead and assign this to a MIDI control. So I've assigned that to a MIDI control on my keyboard. Wonder if I can show you that. So let's see if I can show you what that looks like. So, okay. So we've got my knobs here. It's actually upside down, so I'm going to show you just in the right way. So there we go. You're looking at my actual knobs. So I've assigned that to a knob on my controller, and you can hear the waveform. See as I turn this knob. That the waveform's changing. So we're gonna go back, and hopefully you can see me again. But yeah, that's basically how you use that function. And we basically designed a wavefolding oscillator to kick things up a notch. It's already been only about 7 minutes, so we've done that under 10 minutes. And to kick things up a notch, we're going to actually I'm going to add another oscillator. So I'm going to jump. I'm going to plug the second oscillator in, and I already have a mixer down here, handy mixer, and we're going to combine these into our wave folder, and you get even more complex sounds. So I'm going to make the second one a square wave. I'm not going to leave it as a triangle, so we get some variation. Kind of gets erratic. So you also want something that's usable. So I'm going to switch back to, I'll keep it as triangle, maybe detune the second one. But it becomes a little bit heavy. So I'm going to keep it as we had it with that first oscillator. And we can actually remove these connections. So it looks like that. That's what it will look like, the finished product. I'm going to bring in another module. So I'm going to use distortion to add some distortion. So it already has distortion because we're folding waveforms. And they're triangle waves, but this should make it more full. And again, we can assign that to a macro. So I'm going to move that up so you can see the waveform as I move it. So in Ableton, we should be able to assign this to a macro. Assign this to some controls. Let's see. Open up the wrench. So you can use it like this. So I was thinking to automate something, but let's see. So yeah, we can control it here, and we can automate it so that, well, not automate, we can play something in and it'll be printed to our screen. So let's turn the metronome down and let's record it in. Just gonna turn that tempo down and we can record it in. And there we go. We got some sounds that are usable in our production. We can turn it up a little bit. So they're really deep sounds. But yeah, hopefully you learned something from the session today and you're able to use that in your production going forward, create some crazy sounds. And yeah, so let's see if we can change this up to a higher octave. Let's see what happens. Let's mess with the envelope. Oops. Let's record something in here. Yep, let's do it again. Okay, so I think I got a clean one there. So let's loop that. Loop that one, and I'm gonna add a utility to this one so we can hear it a little bit louder. Okay, and timing. So I'm gonna want to have this one So I'm gonna bring this to the bar end, and then we can duplicate. Make sure it loops properly. Yeah, we're good now. So just gonna join this clip up. We're gonna check our key and gonna build out a little loop section with this. So it says F major. So Let's see if we can add in some drums. Okay, we're gonna go to our pack. Okay. So we just want second half of the beat. This part. Repeat that again. Just make sure you guys can hear me. I'm gonna turn off that metronome now, and I'm going to see what else we can add to this. Let's add another part. So I think we should do okay. Let's see. Just feel like that's a little bit of a different pitch than should be. So we can choose another instrument. Let's add back in our part. See if we can get some kind of syncopated rhythm going. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bite to this. Don't really like that sound so much. Too plain. think that's what I wanted. A little bit of delay. Yeah, okay. So we got some parts going. Can do a melodic part now. Gonna bring in a synthesizer or something else. Or maybe you can play some guitar. Let's see. I'm thinking guitar part on this might be good. Let's see how this works out. So we're connected. Oh, input 2. Guitar is connected to input 2. So So my voice is actually coming through that. So it's actually connected to the input 1. So, hopefully you can hear me now. Trying to figure out which track it recorded on. So let's show all the take lanes. That's strange. Let me grab a utility and see if I can see the waveform. It might just be really small. Okay, so I'll just grab a fresh one. Let's resample it. So I'm going to start another track and I'm going to resample from, I'm not sure where it went, but okay, so we got our guitar part, just a little one, recorded in. I'm going to adjust the gain on this. And we're going to mute the first track. Test, test. Yeah, we're still good. Okay. So we rename this track. Rename it our guitar track. Oops. We'll call it guitar lead 1. We'll copy that name over. And we'll ungroup it because there's no group. Assign the track colors. Collapse this because we don't need this audio track. We're going to bring it to the bottom. And yeah, we've got our loop. We've got our little guitar part. Okay, I want to add one more thing. I think a pad will be useful here. So, I'm going to bring one in. Just going to mute this guitar part for a second. Going to bring in a pad. So I'm going to go to my handy dandy plugins folders and find a pad to finish off our loop. I think something softer than our Prophet sound. I'm looking for something mellow. that I can tweak. Not that. Try one more pad, maybe. Don't like that, so let's see what other pad we got. Okay, so let's do that again. Go to the actual part we're going to record in at and punch in there. I think it sounds a little bit better than what we had before. I'm going to adjust the bass part, I think, a little bit. I'm just going to duplicate because I don't want to destroy what we had. So let's make this a different track color. Good idea to name your tracks as you go along. Assign your track colors because it keeps things organized. Let's do that as I speak about it. Let's do it to make it better. So yeah, I know it's sometimes get lazy with naming them, but it's a good practice. Keeps you organized. Keeps your thinking process when you're thinking about sounds and where you want them to go. Helps you to do that. So it's a good idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and just color a couple of these tracks. And the one I'm not using, I usually bring it to the bottom and then rename them. Or pad. Lead to pad, and then we have a kick here. Oops. Rename those kicks. This would be some kind of, okay, laser. So you can rename them once by doing this. Bam. Got both of them named. And so we're going to mess with that pad a little bit. I think we can. I'm going to make another copy. I don't want to mess with the original sound, so yeah. Where'd it go? Maybe it didn't copy. That's strange. That's weird. Duplicate? Okay, that's weird. Wouldn't let me copy it, but it let me duplicate. Okay, that's weird. Anyways, we'll make this a different color. That's good. And then we're gonna mess with this one. So I'm gonna mute out that first track and do a little sound design. So we've already done a little bit of volume. So I want to automate this parameter because I want it to open up. So let's go to the X. No. Let's go to configure. Let's map it. Okay, now I'm gonna map this to actual control. So let's go to the MIDI. MIDI and key are two different things when it comes to Ableton. A key is mapping to a key, MIDI is to a MIDI controller. So the shortcuts for this: Command K, Command M, we can do our MIDI, Command K, we can do our keyboard. So I'm going to assign this to a knob on my MIDI map. So let's see. Okay, I've assigned it to a control on my control surface. So that's great. Can close it up. Let's see if it works. Yes, it does. So I'm going to now record an automation for that. I don't need to do it like that, like this. As you can see, the knob is moving. This knob right here, if you're not noticing which one, I need to get a pointer thing on my mouse. But it's also moving the line. So I'm going to pretty much randomize this. So let's see. So I've added a little bit of automation in between just to mix it up. So you can see the automation working here. Should be moving this knob really quickly. Yeah, okay. So that's moving. Turn it into a chord. No, it's a little messy. Filter a little bit. 760. So you can do something dramatic like that for another effect. So we'll go ahead and configure, grab another control, that's filter resonance. And again, we can go back, we can assign that to a MIDI key on our keyboard. I chose that one, hopefully it's not the same one. Yep, okay, 53, that looks good to me. So I'm going to use that. So let's work that into our effects. See if we can record some automation in. Oh, that's the wrong one. One on this track. Wrong track. So you want to have the record on the track you're using. Okay. We don't want to erase the track. We want to record automation. There we go. Got some automation moves. Let's see what we got. Okay, I don't like it. We can just program this in. Might be easier. I want to curve this line a little bit. I'm gonna hold down Option and curve it up. See how I like that. Sounding some outer space beat. Anyways, type beat. I think I'm gonna have to pitch this up. Add a lot of reverb. I think that's a little distracting, so I'm gonna disable this automation. So just that one. We're gonna re-add the first one. So when you do that, you can see a little button right here at the top. It kind of blanks it out. So we're gonna reinitiate the automation, and it's gonna start moving again. So that's one of the big things that tripped me up when I first started using Ableton. I was like, why did my automation just stop working? Like, I did it and then it just disappeared. Because you need to re-enable it. Sometimes it just stops all automation. Just as like, oh, it's like, oh, do you want to stop everything? Because you just deleted something. So it seems like you want to stop everything, but no, I don't. So you click no, I don't, and revert action. So yeah, that's how you do it. Let's record that in. Oops. So you always got to bring your cursor back to the beginning of the song, or a track, or a loop. Where'd it go? So we're right here. I think I want an arpeggiator on this. Got a lot of buzzing going on. So one has to be the lead here. Move it up an octave. So I have an idea. Little auto pan. Just for this buzzy sound. So a little bit. Just to shove it between the speakers. So I was going to adjust that, but I had two more ideas before I did that. So let me go back to our... So there's two things I want to add to this. Just keep forgetting about them. So we're going to add one more thing I usually use. This helps keep track of things, giving away all my little secrets, but that's fine. So we're going to bring in that arpeggiator, change the bass line, and build up the effects. So those are the three things I want to do. So I just wrote them down so you can visualize them. Helps sometimes to visualize your tracks. So I'm going to go in to my Ableton effects. I want to try we have a piano there. I want to create a progression out of this really bad, so I'm going to go back. Right, progression on keys. As long as you understand what your notes mean, that's all that matters. So let's go back up, and that will be the next few things we're going to do. I'm going to go on this piano. I'm going to bring in some MIDI notes. Command-Shift-M, you want to make that block, or you can just double-click at the top of the block and it'll create something for you. Some block, a 1-bar block. So 1 being 1 bar. If you zoom out here, you'll see it's 1 bar. So 4 beats is in 1 bar. Yeah. So just in case you didn't realize that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you knew that. We're gonna create a progression out of this this melody that we have here. Oh, come on, don't freeze on me now. Okay, so we're gonna create a progression out of this. I want this piece right here. Okay, let me see if I got all the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Blah, blah, blah. Good. Okay. Gonna bring that down an octave. And velocity is gonna come down. Ooh. And volume. And I'm gonna hang my progression off of this using, this looks like half notes. No, it's actually 1 bar. Okay, let's add the beat back in and see what we got. I'm gonna do a little quantize on this. Oops. Okay. I don't like that, so just gonna add a groove to it. I don't like that groove. Okay, so I'm going to redo that last part. So Reaktor sound. I'm gonna go ahead and save that. So we can go ahead and create a second part. Oops. Let's undo that for a second. Yeah, okay. That's great. Yeah, okay, we're still good. So you always want to save your work if you don't lose anything. You can carve out that kick a little bit. There's so many ideas that are coming to my mind now. So it's like, you gotta kind of pick and choose what you want to do, and you can always come back to your track, refine it. But the main thing is that you get your ideas out. So let's do that arpeggiator thing we were talking about. We did that, a bass line. We're done with that. We did the progression. We're done with that. And finally, we're gonna do, we did effects. We didn't do the effects, we're gonna do arpeggiator. So I'm gonna go in, I'm going to bring in an arpeggiator for this. Sometimes every idea you do doesn't work the way you want it to. That's fine, as long as you tried it, experimented with it. Yeah. So I'm not loving that. So we tried it. Let's go back to our list. We tried it on that arpeggiator. Didn't like it. Okay, this creates a little roadmap for you when you come back to your track and you're able to refine it. So that was for the, actual arpeggiator. Didn't love it. So that's that. And we're good with that. arrangement now. We've done a little rough arrangement while we were talking. Just to show you that. So that's done. That's enough to build up the beat. And yeah, we've hit all our sections. Just gonna go and add some limiters so that I can get the volume up. So right now we're sitting around minus 16. I want to be around minus 12 dB so that it's a little bit louder, or as loud as we can get it. So I'm going to look for that limiter, and I'm going to add that to the master. Okay, so that's all we got for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the live stream. Keep sound designing. We built Reaktor in this session from scratch, and we did a wavefold to it so that we could create a more interesting sound. And hopefully we can experiment more in another session. But that's all we got for now. I'll see you next session. Peace out.